You just go.
Go your own way, stones and shadows bite, willows whisper of darkness deep and wide. In the forest, there is no place to hide. Strange paths. Tonight I fear that I will not survive the dying of a light.
This is Dying of the Light, Season 3 of the Starfall Collective. The Starfall Collective is a collaborative storytelling group using the Dungeons & Dragons game system as a vehicle for creating rich and compelling stories, you've been warned, in a fictional world that we've been developing together for a while. You can find out more about the collective as well as the stories we are telling at the starfallcollective.com. We're back with yet another episode. Let's find out who is in it. I'm Sir Robert, a father and entrepreneur, and I am the host of this season's story. With me tonight are a few friends playing the characters in this drama, or perhaps melodrama, or perhaps psychodrama. Ooh, I'll take it. Please say your name, something about yourself if you like, and a brief description of the character you're playing. Maybe tonight highlight something about how your character is thinking or feeling or interacting about your current place in the world. And I mean geographically, physical place, this lake, this forest, what's going on immediately. I'm interested in letting each of you just say a little bit about, what your character's mood and disposition are right now. Why don't we start with you, Aaron Joy?
Hi, I'm Erin Joy. I play Minnow. She's small and feisty, tends toward bossiness, and is fierce beyond her capabilities, unfortunately. She thinks it's been a really long time since we've been underground. She's really curious about the lake. Her god, the god of the underground waters. She's curious about his connection to the lake, because where do you get the lake at the top? A lake at the top of a hill. She would really love to explore that whole area, but instead, apparently, her martial arts are in demand.
All right. And Belvari.
Belvari is a 16-year-old human, and his current thoughts are
But quiet.
but very quiet.
Okay. How about you, Matt?
Talamini. I'm a writer and web developer based in Providence, Rhode Island. You can find me at MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew TALAMINI.com. I play the shirtless wizard Diamondback. Diamondback is interested in power. And it seems that this is a place where there may be power available. Yeah, that's really like he has a plan and he's not powerful enough to execute it. So he needs more power. And that's the story.
I was going to try to say a man, a plan, a lake, but then I wasn't able to make the palindrome, the reverse of it.
A giant dragonfish monster.
That's right.
No, that's really unpalindronable.
How about you, Pat Toll?
Hello, I am Patrick. I am playing the character Toll, who is a half-orc of 22 or 23 years of age, and he, his first couple of weeks with these people, he was like, wow, being enslaved sucked, but it certainly was less deadly. He's come to remember how much he enjoys traveling, seeing as that was how he spent most of his younger life. And he's also starting to remember that he does like a good fight. Considering he's a half-orc, he doesn't, he doesn't dread combat.
Okay, good. And just as a reminder for our listening audience and possibly players, we haven't touched on this a whole lot, but Toll's prior life, his youthful life before enslavement to the Iron Bell, which is where we met him, was with a Wayfarer troop. Different one than Yoshka. Good. What?
Able was I ere I saw this ghoul.
There you go. I think that's what Napoleon said.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything about that being in relation to Josephine.
I thought that was supposed to be a palindrome at first, and I was like, oh, whoa, wait a minute.
Talad, Jacob, why don't we do you next? I muted myself so that I wouldn't be over speaking it, but then I realized he's on the same mic. So.
Yes, I am Jacob Burbridge, and I will be playing Talad, who, in stark contrast to Toll's life, has literally gone nowhere and has stayed his entire life in a cave. And now that he's not in a cave, everything is so much bigger, including the dragon and the lake and the trees. Just everything.
And it was a pretty nice cave.
It was a pretty nice cave. Like, it was premium quality.
And also, like, the world you're in now, I joked about this phrase earlier, but it really is kind of an alien, landscape of abject horror, right?
Yeah.
Compared to your cave. And then
a nice cave with the singular asterisk of Puericide. But aside from that asterisk, yes, very nice cave.
Yes. Very nice.
Nobody's perfect.
Water carved.
Josh, why don't we do yours next? Inkatink.
Hi, I'm Josh, and tonight I am playing Inkatink, a Kinku with many voices but not one. And tonight, Inkatink is, boy, he's just a hot mess. He's still riding high on the adrenaline rush and ego confirmation of being called cousin by a ancient green dragon. And he is feeling the frustration of being really only capable of cantrips in a situation where something a little more third level-y is called for when it comes to the protection of his friends via the vanquishing of his enemies. So he too is very, very interested in having more power, as Jeremy Clarkson says. Sorry, Diamondback says.
If only he had a focus, a way to focus his magic.
If only.
Well, I should say not his magic, so as the magic of the woods. And finally, Yoshka. Let's hear how you're doing, Jeremy. Yoshka, with regard to these things.
Yoshka finds himself suddenly confronted of religion and metaphysics just by recent happenings. He's uncomfortable in a new way because he always was used to traveling, but this is a foreign region where talking doesn't really do a whole lot.
Because of the undead, you mean? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. It would be interesting to know if there are wayfarers in this region and what they're like, if there are, or if at least there have been, or whatever. Okay, well, let's get into it. Previously, on the Dying of the Light, our party found themselves adjacent to a lake. This lake they were directed to get to. It is the lake of the Ananaga, as the people of the town they've just been in called it. And this lake is haunted by a ghost that they know by the name the Baisugen, or maybe just Baisugen. This ghost undead, which by the way isn't super uncommon here for you to see a ghost spirit creature or something like that. This creature of this lake is some kind of womanish figure who apparently attempts to lure people into this lake. And according to rumor, never to return or something like that. In the town, the daughter of one of your cohorts, Teko, his 13-ish-year-old daughter was out with him hunting. And she went to retrieve some birds that they had shot and was beckoned into the lake by the Baisugen. Teko saw her just as she was starting to wade in and was able to run and grab her, but something happened and her animus has left her form, or something like that. She's in a coma, as we would call it. They only know that she is not responding, but is physically alive. You have, we just lost somebody. Okay. You have gone on a journey to where you were going anyway, at least the general direction, to get to the lake, this direction, which is where Diamondback's potion that he drank, he felt that force drawing him towards what he believes to be his magical focus. He has not used that potion on your day-long journey here, but it was in the same direction, so, approximately. So y'all are at least nearby, and you had a guide with you that helped you get safely to the lake, Lambrel and Teko, two guides. The dragon came. I'm not going to recount all of that, but the dragon came and has made grave promises to provide you a lair this very night, he said, to repay a debt. And as he left, slipping for some reason into the lake, you saw a light in the woods that was the same kind of light that you had seen once in the false night that some of you may have taken for one thing or another, but now you have a better idea of what it was. It was a unicorn under attack by a band of marauding ghouls and spirits. There's a wight, a banshee, and 5 ghouls. You ran into this clearing, sort of. The unicorn had a spear, was wedged between 2 trees. You have now managed to free the unicorn, which is fleeing, kind of word, and you all are now face to face with these creatures. Again, a wight, a banshee, 5 ghouls. The wight and the banshee are more fearsome than the ghouls. You can tell, for one, they're powerful, incorporeal, undead creatures, and or semi-corporeal or something. And the ghouls are more angry, zombie-ish. A couple of quick things that are important. We've just finished 1 round of combat. Belvari has been paralyzed by the attack of a ghoul. Sorry, say it again.
And then knocked over.
Yep, and then he fell over. He's still unable to move for a little while longer. Belvari, if you make the correct savings throw, you'll be able to overcome that paralysis. Lambrel and Teko, I've numbered these ghouls so that you can remember which one is which, but Lambrel and Teko are all fighting ghoul number 5, not too far away. Belvari was attacked by ghoul number 1. And ghouls 2 and 3 were the ones who attacked the unicorn. They are now closest to Yoshka. Diamondback, who has courageously hidden behind his friends, finds himself now face to face with a new friend, the Banshee. So let's get into it. Before we start, I was just going to pick up combat right where we left off. But before we do start, does anybody have any questions or comments so we can make sure we're ready?
Can y'all hear me? Okay, yes.
Yeah, you're doing great.
The microphone came unplugged in it.
So if you can,
Yeah, where is it?
it's on my
Your computer?
Yeah,
No charger?
no charge.
I'll tell you what, Jacob. My battery's full, and it's the same charger.
The charger's on your desk.
Oh.
Dad's
I
desk.
will go figure that out.
Okay, yeah, why don't you do that? And Josh, you said something?
I did.
I did not.
Okay.
Diamondback is a wizard and knows many mystical things.
Mhm.
I would like to know how much I know about the nature of a banshee. I do not want to do anything that would take any actual time, but just to figure out, because I, Matthew, having played Dungeons and Dragons as a dungeon master, know all about banshees and what they can do, but Diamondback might not. Guide
Sure.
me, my DM. But he is a wizard.
Just straight up. I'm sorry. What'd
He
you
is
say?
a wizard.
He's a
Diamondback
wizard.
is a wizard. Does have,
I believe. Yeah. Do you want to know something like? And I'll let you pick. Do you want to know something like the history of banshees? See what you know, or the nature of banshees?
I think that because I care about its combat abilities, I think this should be a nature check.
Yeah, I'm game for that. Whichever one you picked, I would give you information towards that.
Yeah, I'm
But
better
yeah,
at
go for
history, but I doubt that history will give me the kind of information I need. And
Sure.
Diamondback
I mean,
is
you know,
not like
you-
standing in the middle of the battle, stroking his chin, thinking this. I'm like, this is like, I'm trying to get what I would. Okay, awesome.
And the reason history was an option is because you may have heard stories that banshees could do this, or banshees did that one time.
Yeah,
So
so
what'd you
that's
get?
going to be 5.
Okay. Let's see. Here's what you know about banshees. Not much. Not much comes. I shouldn't say you don't know much. Not much comes to mind immediately as like a strategy, how you might deal with them. But you do know this: they are
Thoroughly undead.
quite undead. They are. You remember that they are something like disquieted spirits in their lives, which cause them to become similarly after their deaths. They can shriek and wail in a way that is harmful to people. That's what you remember. All right. And this banshee, of course, is right next to you, Diamondback. Let's go ahead and start. Last time we finished out our round. We're going to start at the beginning of the new round. It is the White's turn. Now, this White, which was happily attacking the unicorn, angrily, I guess maybe also attacking the unicorn with these ghouls, has just seen Neno come and heal the unicorn, or tend to the unicorn is probably a better way to say that. And then the unicorn reciprocated with a magic spell that gave both her and the unicorn some protection. Yoshka came up and with a mighty blow unwedged the spear from the trees. And did you get it out of the unicorn, or is it still in the unicorn as far as you know?
I got it out, but it was painful.
You got the spear out of the unicorn, not just the tree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a medicine check.
Right.
But
Okay.
it
The medicine.
damaged it.
The medicine check was when you unlodged the spear from the tree. Did it hurt the unicorn?
Oh.
Okay. Okay. So the unicorn has a spear in its flank, but is unlodged from the tree, and it hurt it a little bit, but not a lot. You actually had a pretty good medicine roll. That was good. Mr. Yoshka, medicine man. So yeah, this White is enraged at Neno and Yoshka, and is going to attack Yoshka.
Movement to get over there.
And what it's going to do is, this creature is sort of ghastly, not ghast in this sense, but a sort of terrible semi-corporeal ghost creature. And it has, as any other fighter would, its weapons, which are also partly in the world and partly out. It's going to use a longbow attack that it has, and it sees you running, and it's just going to whip it out and shoot. Right? So that longbow is going, he can attack twice with the longbow. And he gets a 12. Hit your armor.
How are we going to factor in my obscurement by trees? Remember, I wanted to try to put a tree between.
Yeah, roll me. That's a good question. You got to run away at full speed without provoking an attack.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'll do then is I'll give him disadvantage on his rolls for and giving you partial cover.
Okay.
You just are dodging in and out of trees. So, fair enough.
Yeah.
And
So, Robert, if you want a brief, very brief, because I just looked it up, a very brief refresher on cover. Half cover
sure.
is +2 bonus to AC. 3/4 cover is +5 bonus, and total cover, it means you cannot be targeted if they can't see any of you at all.
I knew that about total cover, and I thought it was partial cover was disadvantage, and total cover was no attack. But thank you, that's helpful. In which case, Jacob, do you have my dice, or are those yours?
These are yours, yeah.
I just need a couple. Did you bring the whole container, or?
No, I just have
Those are
these.
the ones I brought.
Oh.
Yeah, you can use them.
Yeah, just for a minute. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to roll to see whether you have partial or because you're moving, right? And I'm going to do. You'll definitely have at least partial. Could be 3/4. I'm going to roll those as 7 and 14. No, I'm sorry. I'll roll them as under and over 10. So 16. So you have 3/4 cover. So you have a +5 AC. Does a 12 hit?
No.
Okay. So the white shoots an ephemeral arrow, semi-ephemeral arrow, and it hits straight against a tree near you. It is not able to quite hit you. It has a second attack with that same, and does a 19 hit.
I have plus what?
5.
Plus 5? Yes.
19 hits. So the second arrow whistles through the air, and you hear it plunge into you from behind as you run. In particular, it did 5 damage, right arm from behind.
I had 5 temporary hit points from the Mail of Inspiration, so maybe it just hit my hair.
That's probably what it
shattered the gel.
was. Made it glimmer so much less. That's right. And it was a psychic kind of gel. Okay. The ghoul that is... there's a ghoul that Yoshka ran past. It is going to run up to you, Yoshka, and also attack. You're the closest one to it. Plus, it was ready for some flesh of unicorn, and you've deprived it of it. It's going to run up to you.
That.
Say it again.
I do have that.
You do have that. It's going to run up to you and just going to slash at you, grab at you with its claws, its vicious, brutal claws. You are still until your next turn when I roll again. You're still in 3/4 cover.
Oh.
Does a 9 hit you?
No.
Okay. It runs at you and it just slashes through the, but isn't quite able to land anything. It is within a few feet of you now. The next ghoul is also the one. Is the one right next to Belvari. It has its prey that it is focusing on, and it thinks it's thinking delectable thoughts.
Probably thinks that I'm dead because I haven't done anything.
So then instead of clawing, it'll probably bite because it wants to eat you.
slowly
That's right.
on the face, open mouth.
That's right. You have absolutely no cover.
Everyone's
Like that in
screaming
post.
slowly on his face, open mouth.
Okay. What were we going to say,
It's a
Dwight?
family podcast.
That's right. It was. Does a... Oh, you're laying down.
Yeah, it gets I believe advantage on.
Okay. Yeah. You're paralyzed laying...
Uh,
Not laying down. Laying down. On the ground.
Paralyzed. An attack that hits has is critical for paralyzed. For prone, I have disadvantage on attack rolls. Attack roll against has advantage if it's within 5 feet.
Okay.
So it has
And it is.
advantage, and it is a critical hit if it hits.
And does a 16 hit
Yep.
you? Okay. So it bites against you and does, let's see. Ooh, it rolled a 1 and a 4 for its 2d6. It rolled 5 plus 2, 7 damage. But it's a critical hit, and I forgot what that does. It doubles it?
It doubles the damage dice that you roll.
The damage dice. Another 1 and a 5. So instead of that, we do 6, 11 damage. This ghoul wanting to feast still, it actually doesn't know that the unicorn has fled. It's just found some more flesh and is interested in partaking, as it were. Inkatink, you are relatively safe. You're away from a lot of the action with your party members between you and danger. What would you like to do? Your nearest Talid and Diamondback. You could very easily help Belvari at this moment, and you could not make it all the way to Yoshka.
Right. And Belvari is currently being attacked by the Banshee. Is that correct?
The ghoul.
No, by the ghoul. Ghoul
Yes.
number 1.
So he's going to continue to, or he's going to try to kill the ghoul that Belvari is currently being engaged by. And he's going to cast. Has that ghoul been damaged at all?
It has not yet.
It has not. Okay. He's got a spell that will do radiant damage, and it needs to make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw. That's radiant. Was it radiant blast or radiant sacred flame? Sacred flame. So radiant fire comes striking down from the sky on the ghoul, and the ghoul needs to make a dex saving throw.
Reframe that. Radiant fire comes striking down from the canopy.
Sure. The canopy. Yeah. From somewhere ambiently.
Yeah. Flame. Sorry, no. A small tornado of this black mist, a swirling sort of vortex of the mist, appears above the ghoul, and the mist starts glowing and becoming a boom, shines down to hit it. It needs to make a, what did you say?
DC 13 dexterity saving throw.
And that is this. Where is my there it is. It made a 19. So
Okay,
it's saved.
so it will take 4 damage total then.
Okay.
It takes half.
Deal. Inkatink is coming to help you, Belvari. He's trying. It is now. That is Lambrel. Lambrel's turn. Lambrel is going to roll to attack the ghoul. They have been Lambrel and Tekko. They work well together, know each other well. They've been attacking this one ghoul, and it made some pretty good progress on it. 18. He does hit it again, and for. All right. 6 damage. He's using his hunting equipment on it. Lambrel is over there hacking out. Lambrel and Tekko are over there hacking at this ghoul that's grumbling and growling at them. But they're doing pretty well. They're used to these woods.
What weapons do they have?
They have different ones, but among the two of them, without enumerating individually, hatchet, sword, and bow and arrow. That was that. Matt, Diamondback, it is your turn. Now, you've got Belvari immediately to your right, a little bit in front of you to your right. You've got the Banshee immediately to your left. What say you? You might be muted.
I'm not muted.
Okay.
Diamondback is going to make a tough but tactical choice, and is going to go 20 feet to the, I believe it's north, so away from the Banshee. I'm not within striking distance of the Banshee, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go 20 feet away from the Banshee, north. I'm trying to, and what I want to do is get a clear shot at the white. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So I take all but 10 feet of my movement going away from the action, and then I want to take a shot at the white. I'm going to cast Acid Arrow, and I have advantage on this because of Fairy Fire, so I get to roll a ranged spell attack against it.
Sounds good.
And that is going to be, oh my goodness, I rolled a 3 and a 2. So that's going to be an 8 to hit with this spell. It's not going to hit, right?
It did not hit.
Okay, so what happens is because it's a miss, the spell lands at its feet or something and splashes it with acid. And
this is Acid Splash is the spell?
The spell is Acid Arrow.
Acid Arrow, okay.
So it's only going to do 2d4 damage to the white.
Let's roll it.
But it's a pretty good roll. That's 6 damage.
Okay. This white. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, or if you want to narrate it, that's fine. But the rest of my turn, I want to spend the last 10 feet of my movement finding a big tree or something to get behind, to try and get cover from both the white and the Banshee if I can.
Okay. Roll me a D. Actually, you know what? Roll me a stealth check for this. Okay. And what I'm going to do for that is there are three outcomes of this. 0 or 1, I guess 1 to 7 is you have no cover. 7 to 14 you have half cover, and no, you know what? I'm sorry, 4. Let's go. Roll me a D4. 1 is no cover. 2 is half cover. 3 is.
I don't get to add my stealth bonus to the D4.
Okay, sorry.
Well, yeah, but I mean that would be a hide, which is an action.
Right. Yeah. Don't let me take the hide action for free. I'm just trying to find cover if I can.
Yeah. Roll 1d4, and it's just a 1 in 25. What happens?
Perfect. Oh, I rolled a 4.
All right. You managed to find some full cover from the white and Banshee.
Awesome.
All right.
So I found a big tree or something, and I just go behind it, and I'm just standing behind it until my next turn.
The white and Banshee, I just want to clarify, the white and Banshee can't see, the others might be able to.
The others might be able to.
So what's happened is, you used this acid splash. It went through the white, and it whisked through. You could see its rib cage, and it just went right through. But as it did, it kind of deflected and left some acid residue on the white, doing some damage, which is great. Diamondback has now gone. It is the another ghoul attacking Yoshka.
If the rest of the party could remember, Diamondback had previously yelled out in the first part of the battle when he put the fairy fire on the white. Everybody attack the white. So he's following his own tactical suggestion, hoping that others will join in.
That sounds good. And this is the other ghoul that was attacking the unicorn. It's also going to run at Yoshka and try to get him. A 21, but you have +5.
That does hit me.
Does hit you again. All right.
Yeah, the 19 hits.
19. I didn't remember the other. For 8 damage. This particular one just runs at you and is just grabbing at your flesh.
Does he say flesh as he does that?
He does flash, as he's heard a crow say it before. 10 con saving throw,
Which should be very easy.
or be paralyzed for a minute.
Okay.
If you can roll 2 1s.
5.
Okay. And what's your constitution bonus? It's not 5.
I added in. Yeah.
Oh, you added in. Okay.
Did you roll a 1 too?
Seized up. Just gave me a Charlie horse that crept up my whole
That's right.
body.
Had so many of them, you call them Chuck horses now.
Did you say a minute?
A minute.
That's 6 full rounds of combat, right?
It is brutal. That's right.
Yeah, you
Wow.
get to
Though-
every turn. You get to.
Yeah, every turn they can re-roll that same con check.
It's
Oh,
10,
okay.
10 rounds of combat.
6 seconds, yeah, 10 rounds. So, Yoshka, this guy runs at you, and you deftly maneuver and are able to get out of range of the first ghoul that came at you. But as you're doing so, that second ghoul runs up and is able to just rake across your flesh. Takes a serious chunk out of you, and you're paralyzed. You have not yet fallen, but you're there. All right.
So both of the ghouls are over by Yoshka now.
Those 2 ghouls
Left-
that
left.
were in the center are next to Yoshka. Talid, it is your turn.
All right. Talid is.
You're safely next to Inkatink. You're not next to or in immediate danger from anybody.
Aren't I near Diamondback from the map thing?
You were, but Diamondback has now run to the north and is close to where Toll and Neno are.
Sorry, yeah. North is over there. Thank you. All right. Belvari is getting his face shot off, so I'm going to. Chune. I prefer Chune. Wow. Sorry,
Let's hear it.
That's just my accent. I apologize. Belvari is getting his face chewed off. So
It's rough tune.
Talid is going to throw an acid splash at the ghoul.
All right.
Hopefully not hitting Belvari as well.
Well, I'm on the ground. So
The only time it would definitely hit him is if you had a very poor critical miss. So don't do that.
All right.
So how does this acid splash work? I
I
mean, what do you have to roll?
I will check.
I've got it up here too.
Oh,
A bubble of acid. You choose a creature within range or 2 creatures within range that are within 5 feet of each other. You could choose Belvari.
I don't.
Okay. A target must succeed a dex saving throw or take 1d6 acid damage.
You would choose Belvari, he would get 0 on that dex saving.
Well, I'll keep that in mind.
So you throw that bubble of acid, and this is a dex saving throw against your spellcasting ability, I think.
Maybe. I don't. Here, I'll find out.
Is it that plus proficiency?
My save DC is my save DC is 13. So
What does this spell use?
I don't quite understand the rules of this, but I'm very happy to roll it against a DC 13.
when I'm casting,
That sounds fair.
Yeah, I'm casting a spell and I'm using my save DC for. I think that's how it goes.
The
I
spell
don't-
save DC? Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds good. And 13 seems like about right. Reasonable. Okay, so sorry, the listening audience.
Dexterity
you did not
saving
hear
throw
that.
against his spell DC.
Okay, listening audience, pretend you did not hear that. You will not. I will cut it in post. What were you going to say, Dwight?
Yeah, I was just going to say that's what my sheet is showing.
Okay, great. So he is. Let's see how dexterous a ghoul this is. This is this guy right here. And he rolled a 18. Man, I'm getting great rolls today. So you take half damage, is that right?
No, It doesn't take any damage if it succeeds
No,
on a
you just missed it
dexterity
with a
saving throw.
splash.
This is just a
So you go this
cantrip.
bubble of acid, but you just miss it. It kind of glides past its back as it's hunching over Belvari and splashes onto the forest behind.
Which didn't hit me.
She didn't hit him. That's right. It is Neno's turn. Neno, you're up. Swing about it.
Uh-huh. Okay. So is Neno within Neno's within melee distance of the one attacking Belvari, yeah?
She
No,
is
you
now.
No.
You could run up easily and get to him using half your movement or a third of your movement.
Okay. And I can attack and can I ready
And a reaction.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me get this right.
No.
A reaction. Does anybody remember a reaction?
This
Is
is taken
I remember.
when they're available to be taken, right?
You
Rem-
spend your
remember.
the way reactions work is the way readying an action works is that you spend your action, and that becomes a reaction that you can take later.
right. It's an action battery basically.
Yeah.
And then, but
So you
may
can't
have
attack and
things that
also do
say
that.
Are reactions, but you don't prepare those. It's just you say, "I'm going to do that" when the prerequisites happen.
Yep.
I don't think I have any of those. Okay. I bound / scamper up toward Belvari, and in each hand I have what I need to cast inflict wounds. I'm going to cast onto the one attacking Belvari, and in my other hand, I don't think I can cast it toward cast it at the Banshee, but I would if I could. I'm ready for the future.
Okay. So, sorry. Say it one more time.
Inflict wounds.
Inflict
Melee spell
wounds.
attack against a creature I can reach.
Uh-huh.
Target takes 3d10 necrotic damage.
You just do take it.
On a hit.
On a hit,
So
yeah.
Spell. What's your on your spell tab at the very top? There's a spell attack. Like
Mhm.
mine says +5, it'd be plus something.
I've got a +2 modifier and a +4 spell attack.
Okay, so you roll a d20 and add 4, and that's your attack.
Okay.
Got it. And then it's against the AC.
Mhm.
Also, don't forget you can turn undead. That's the greatest power that we have as in the group against them.
She may be able to turn it.
You gotta save it for the biggins.
Wasn't that dependent on my god stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're there yet.
Okay.
Um,
I think you could just do it and then let Robert know, like, I want to have my God be real, or I want to have it come from another power, have that be part of the story.
We ended it last time with, although I'm happy to flex, but we ended it last time with, as we talked about it. Sorry, the little digression for a moment. We were talking about some of the backstory for Neno, and if I remember correctly, and I'm happy to do whatever makes sense for us, but we ended it with Neno, if she's in a place where she feels like that's a thing she can try to do, she will find out whether it happens or not.
that's my memory.
So yeah, I'm happy for you to interpret Neno's heart, and you just play the character however you want.
All right. Rolled a 13 with a +4. That's a 17.
That is a hit.
Okay. So that's an inflict wounds to the one attacking Belvari.
Mhm.
The target takes 3d10 necrotic damage.
Roll it.
Do it.
I roll it, not you. All
Yeah, that's
one
right.
moment.
Or I can roll it if you prefer. I have dice, but
It's probably faster with you. I can't even find
Sure.
it.
I can do that.
Thank you.
3d10, you say?
Mhm.
1, 2, and where's my third one? I'll just do that one. 259. That's pretty good. So 16 damage. Wham! So this undead ghoul of a creature here, Neno runs up to it and using a kind of magic that, it's a strange kind of magic because unlike other magics where they form an arrow or they form a bit of acid or something like that, right? Fire or whatever. This spell simply inflicts wounds without mediation through any other material or apparently material mechanism. She casts this acid. I'm sorry, not this acid. She casts this spell. The black swirls around and streams through the ghoul. And then, after just a moment, silently emerges violently from the ghoul's flesh, leaving it ripped to shreds. Not yet finished off, but very close. This ghoul has little left to do to you. To Belvari, hopefully. It is the unicorn's turn. Now, this unicorn has been running away. As soon as it was set free, it continued in the direction it's going, but appears to have had something of a change of heart. It's grateful. Maybe it's had a few seconds to collect its thoughts or whatever happens inside unicorns. And it seems to turn. In particular,
Unicorns actually have 3 hearts.
do they? Nice. One for each of them. And it sees Neno attacking this ghoul and perhaps is persuaded that you have a common enemy. And also Neno, it has a appreciation for what you did, and also seems to be have an affinity for Belvari, perhaps. It runs towards this same ghoul that Neno has just attacked and that has been crouching over. And as it runs over, it pulls up it goes rampant on its hind legs and just stomps down with its hooves on the back of this torn up and hunched over ghoul. In particular, it rolls a 24 to attack and hit. And hit it does for a combined total of 11 damage. This ghoul, Belvari, that is towering over you, that Neno has just decimated, the unicorn vengefully stomps into the ground. It is no more and is hurt so badly that perhaps you suspect that all who knew it may know it no longer.
Can you ever really know a ghoul?
Not really. I mean, unless they're particularly outgoing.
Those are the only ghouls I like to fight.
That's right. The unicorn is here, and it has shown itself to be a fierce battle companion when it's not alone, at least. It also takes its opportunity to make another attack. It runs directly. It has a little bit of movement left, and it runs directly at the Banshee. You expect it to rear up and do the same, but in fact, it does not. What it does is it runs directly at the Banshee, lowers its head, and skewers the Banshee with its horn. This Banshee, the horn is emanating a brilliant white light, and the Banshee emanating a ghastly grayish light. And the two conflict, the white light shining out and destroying a portion of the Banshee's light.
Go unicorn. Yes.
The unicorn does, let's see how much it does, with its horn attack. Oops, I rolled off the table. It does 9 damage to the Banshee, which you may or may not know, but players do apparently. All right. The Banshee, outraged by this attack, turns. It is its turn. It turns and faces this unicorn as much as it can, twisting, still impaled on the unicorn's horn. It reaches out to make a corrupting touch on this pure white light of the unicorn, doing a 19 to hit, which does hit the unicorn. It does this corrupting touch, and you can see its form touch the unicorn, and coursing from its fingers, this black magic turning sort of a veiny gray green runs through the unicorn's, the surface of its flesh on its shoulder, kind of tendrils and tentacles moving through its surface and into it. This corrupting touch does 9 damage to this unicorn, which neighs and then screams in pain. Let's see, there we go. There is another ghoul that has been off in the distance, and it runs towards where the white is, towards the center, but it's too far away to get towards you, get all the way to you. Yoshka, you have been paralyzed by this ghoul that was just attacking you. It is now your turn. At the end of this turn, you can roll another die to see if you're unparalyzed. In the meantime, you can do things. For my purposes here, paralysis is not total. You can do things like talk or, small, little, tiny things like that.
Okay, well, talking frees up a lot.
6 seconds. 6 seconds worth of talking.
I begin on my epic ballad about
And
A bridge, you want to sell it?
wow, okay. Well, so I didn't prepare anything because I thought I was just going to sit there.
That's okay.
Oh wait, didn't Yoshika at the top of the round?
Nope.
Oh, okay,
You rolled a 6 initiative.
gotcha.
It goes, just for anybody who's interested, it goes Yoshka, Teko, a ghoul, Belvari, then Toll. Belvari and Toll each rolled a 1. I'm ready.
I will do a bardic inspiration on Belvari
Okay, what's the range on that?
to rouse him from his Charlie horse. 60 feet.
Yeah, okay, you're good.
I speak soothing words like massaging stones upon his calves.
Yodeling healing to his soul.
So what is that?
You get an additional 1d6 roll that you can add into any attack or ability check or saving throw within the next 10 minutes. So for your next save.
Nice.
And is that what you're going to do?
Yeah.
Okay, and you've got a DC 10 con to get unparalyzed. If this is the end of your turn.
Yeah, so it is the end of my turn.
You want to roll, you want him to roll the 1d6?
I thought it was his turn.
Yeah, it is his turn.
Yeah.
Oh, he was pointing at you. I didn't know.
I gotta get the 1d6 when I do it.
18.
You are unparalyzed. You feel your joints.
That's how you do it. I'm so inspired.
Awesome.
You feel your stiff joints and muscles creaking, and with surprising pops and grinds, you manage to unlock yourself, having not lost your balance. But there are 2 glowering ghouls ready to have their way with you.
Oh.
Let's see. The ghoul fighting Lambrel and Teko is going to attack. It is going to attack Lambrel, who just hit it really hard. It hits for. Here we go. A fair bit of damage. Lambrel is bitten hard by this ghoul and falls to the ground. He is not dead, but he is deeply wounded. That's right. And Bovari, it's your turn. There are several pieces of ghoul near you now, having been exploded by Neno and trampled by this one-horned hero.
Do they seem to be forming into tiny little ghouls that will then start attacking?
Not that you've noticed.
Okay. So I believe I probably can't also give myself guidance.
That's correct.
Because I would require some sort of actual movement. Okay, so I'll just do my check and add the 1d6.
Okay.
What is it?
You can actually
Con.
roll it
DC
and then see
10.
if you want to add it.
Gotcha.
DC 10. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I could save it for something else.
Yeah.
As long as I roll higher than a 6, I'm good. I rolled a 10, so 14. So
Yeah, Bovari, you're on the ground, and you just the others can see you kind of get to your hands and knees, and you're wounded, of course, but you're not dead. You're doing okay.
not dead yet.
That's right.
He can probably
And then,
stand up if it's his. Oh no, it's at the end of his turn when he does it.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'm still
So he
prone.
can't stand up. He's still on the ground.
Toll, you got here last. You weren't incapacitated or anything, but you arrived towards the end and have the lowest initiative roll. But you arrive, you see this going on. You are the farthest, you and Neno, I guess. Actually, no, you are the farthest from the action. Though you could easily get to the Banshee in this turn. You could get to the White and the Ghoul, who are standing next to each other in this turn. Or you could stay where you are and do something from where you are, or you could run away, or you could, I don't know, lots of different things that an orc would do. You might be muted, I'm not sure.
Can y'all not hear me?
You're very quiet. You might turn yourself up.
Hello? What's going
That
on?
is
Try
better.
turning.
Okay.
Okay,
No,
I
we
can't.
can't hear
We
you.
can't hear Pat at all.
Say something, Patrick.
Hello.
Yeah, Patrick.
Come on. I dare you.
Did you not hear him say hello just now?
Not only do I not hear him say hello, he does not appear to be in Riverside, as far as I can tell.
There's also a muted
I see
thing on
me, Josh, and
his.
Matt.
Like on my screen, he's got a muted icon.
You might,
Maybe.
Patrick.
Maybe
You
reconnect?
might be muted to Sir Robert. I don't know.
No, I mean he's not. He would still be visible, right?
Yeah, I'd still see his panel.
Did you click the Amish shun button on Sir Robert?
When did the first time?
I have no idea, Patrick. I mean, maybe go out and come back in.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Do you see him now?
I do not.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. The screen shifted. There are dots that are moving. He is loading, and the screen is reflecting that.
Good for the screen.
Yeah.
There you go. I can hear you now. Okay. Let's see what you got.
Sorry, I'm having issues. Somehow, I keep having to leave and come back. Maybe I screwed something up.
Maybe a band.
I am going to swing at. Well, I'm not going to swing, but I'm going to get equidistant from the Banshee and the White if the White is still approximately where it is on that map.
Yeah. The Banshee and the White have not moved much from where they were.
Okay, so I'm going to get about where that ghoul that was stomped to death was.
Ghoul 1, the one that was near Belvari. Just for audio, I'm going to describe it that way instead of referring to the map. But I'm happy for you to keep doing that if you want.
Okay, fair enough. And I'm going to cast Acid Arrow we're doing a lot of acid stuff this fight, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep with the trend. And
Maybe we should get some like basic arrows.
That's right.
What the trend?
Come on. Yeah, basic.
was a 14 to hit, but since I'm wielding my magical staff, I get another +2 to that, so that was a 16.
On the white or the banshee?
Oh, the banshee.
Okay. 1 second, I will check. That does hit. Banshee was 12.
Great. And
So
that
your
is-
acid splash,
So what does that look like?
acid arrow.
His staff is the thing that makes it hit.
The whole thing together, including the staff, make it hit. It's not that that's the thing at the end. It's that he's emboldened and empowered while holding the staff.
All right.
That is to say,
He rides the acid arrow over to the banshee and then hits it. Here's back.
So
what does that do? What damage does that do?
That is 4d4 of acid damage, and then another 2d4 at the end of the banshee's next turn.
Okay. So do that 44. Roll that for me.
1, 2, 3, 4. That is 9, and then the staff might also give me a +2 bonus to the damage. Let me see. No, okay, I don't think it does. So 9 damage.
Your arrow flies out and pierces through the semi-ephemeral head of this banshee. It's acid corrupting it and sending it on a very bad trip. It is now, that was Toll. Toll, so you ran up to do that. Is there anything else you're doing here?
How does the banshee look? Is it?
Yeah, as banshees go, this one looks probably. You know what? Roll me a medicine check with disadvantage, and I'll tell you something.
All right.
So, Robert, I've been hearing a pretty good echo for Patrick.
For
Yeah, me
Patrick,
too. Am I super loud?
No.
Oh, that didn't
no,
sound
you're
good.
doing fine.
Matthew, you sound a little wonky on our end.
Yep.
I heard myself echo too, but now it doesn't seem as bad.
He heard himself echo too. No, it doesn't seem as bad.
But the first one was a 22.
The first what was a 22?
Medicine.
Okay.
And then the second one was an 11. I should have
Okay.
rolled the second one before I got excited.
Yeah. With an 11. Sorry, hold on one sec. That's right. With an 11, the Banshee you would get has been has some pretty significant wounds, and your guessing is halfway to defeated. That's roundness of number, halfway. Okay.
It's not injured in, like, it hasn't been rendered immobile, right?
It is not immobile in any way.
Okay.
That's
I was
right.
debating if I should throw a silent stone at it, but I'm not going to yet.
Aha. Okay. Sounds good. The white, having seeing all this going on, it just attacked Yoshka. I think it hadn't really noticed the others of you here. What it saw was Yoshka and Nena run up to its unicorn prey, and it suddenly sees this group, this party here, involved doing something. Who knows what it thinks, but it recognizes you as the living, which it hates. And it is going to
Its nearest target is the unicorn, though, right?
the nearest target is the unicorn, actually. That's correct. This white floats, kind of half floats, half walks, runs towards the unicorn.
Throwing the unicorn under the bus.
And one of the things that a white can do, it has an attack called Life Drain. This is an attack with its weapon, and if it is able to do it a certain way, it can get some hit points from this creature. It uses its long sword. It runs up to this unicorn, uses its long sword, which actually, you know what? I'm sorry. It has its bow out. It's going to take... it is going to stay where it is and shoot the unicorn. That is what it's going to do. Okay. Rather than try to switch weapons. It gets 2 attacks. One of which hits the unicorn for 10 damage. This bow just pierces in and seems to lodge right next to the spear in its flank. It's got a spear and an arrow almost in the same wound. I gotta find the unicorn in the list. Sorry, there it is. For 10 damage. The unicorn
Could you remind us too? You gave these cool descriptions of the banshee and the white, of like how they became horrible.
Okay, sure. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
So the unicorn has an action that it can take at the beginning of another creature's turn. Sorry, at the end of another creature's turn, which it does right now. It's been deeply wounded. It is in very, very bad shape. It, at the end of this turn, doesn't cast. You see its muscles sort of shimmer and flex, and the aura that it has around it, the silvery aura, glows brightly for a moment. It rolled a 1 and a 2. It recovers 5 hit points.
It's been glowing this whole time. It's the main source of light right now.
It is the main source of light in this place. It feels a little bit better. Perhaps the corruption put into it by the banshee has damaged it, but that's what it does. Tries to heal itself. Doesn't look like it did very well. Yoshi next to you, and it attacks you again. It's going to try to bite you. That kind of punctuous B. Bite. Rolling and not natural. Oof. You are not in partial cover for this because you're right there. I assume that hits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and it does 7 more damage. The bite, however, does not have the same paralysis effect. Only the claw, the scratching, deal with that this time. That's kind of nice. Elvari, near you on their turn, remain stationary.
I was a little nervous. You never know the rules.
That's right. And in this land, Inkatink, you've just seen a rash of intense action going on. What do you do here?
Well, Diamondback. Say that again.
I just said, what do you
It was
do?
your own echo from.
Oh,
Sorry.
It's very loud and obvious.
You hear no echo here at all. Weird.
I guess it's just that's playing it. Can you switch to headphones mode? Maybe though.
It's yeah. Give me a sec here.
Or not headphones mode, I guess.
I mean, double Josh is better than one Josh.
As long as he can talk.
Not the interrupt
There's
each other.
actually the Navy's working on a weapon that just plays back what people are saying, like at a slight delay, and it like
Oh man.
makes it so that you can't talk. Yes, would be big time.
All right, try it out.
So Inkatink takes heed of Diamondback's exhortation to attack the white and he pulls out a component for Eldritch Blast, and he tries to fire the white at distance, and that is a
You've
13.
got advantage.
You fired.
With
I
advantage?
Oh, sorry. Nope, I did not. Okay, 16.
Uh-huh. A 16 does hit.
Excellent.
A 13 did not.
Up,
It
and
has-
I rolled a 10, so he takes 10 points of Eldritch blasting damage.
The white, which this white is blasted, just enveloped in these black tendrils of eldritch malice that go out towards it. It is in wretched shape, more than just it's given by just its nature, also now by wounds. Inkatink, you've severely wounded this. You are at a safe distance still. You're doing fine that way. Lambrel is on the ground. He's got a knee to the ground. He is going to attack again the ghoul that just attacked him, which is right there. Oops. Yep. Wow. Just rolled and then landed right back on my laptop and absorbed all the energy. But he hits. He hits it and does goodly damage. As this ghoul has just knocked Lambrel to the ground with its bite and it, bore down on it with its weight, Lambrel takes the bite, hit to the ground, but at the same time stabs upward with his sword. The ghoul is impaled, and whatever innards it has left spill to the ground, and it is undone. So this ghoul is now out of the picture.
That's Ghoul 5.
That is ghoul 5. Yeah, the fifth ghoul. Heaves a heavy sigh as he does so, like a heavy breath. Diamondback, you hear that. You see the ghoul collapse, the white near death, and still glowing with the fire of the Fae. What do you do, Diamondback? You can't see the white right now. You're blocked from each other.
Yeah, so Diamondback is going to come out from behind the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to step out until he can get a clear shot at the white.
Okay.
And then he's going to pop off an Eldritch Blast as well.
Do it.
Which is going to be a ranged spell attack with advantage. So 18 plus 5 is going to be 23 versus the white's armor class.
It definitely hits.
Wow.
Awesome. What's the damage on Eldritch Blast, Josh? D10?
Yes, 1d10.
Here comes a D10. Oh, fell off the thing. 4.
All right. This
Ping.
Eldritch Blast again hits this white. It did not expect this. It didn't see you at all. You're completely concealed, and it is just being knocked every which way.
And I want to go something like maybe 15 feet further away from the action, and then try and take cover behind another tree if I can find one.
Sure.
Would you like me to roll another D4?
Yeah, roll me a D4 on that.
Wow, that's another 4.
All right. Full cover from the white and the banshee, right?
Yep, and now I should be pretty far away, like 45 feet or something.
Yeah. The ghoul, that first ghoul that attacked Bovari is dead. That fifth ghoul that was Lambrel and Teko is re-dead.
Has Ghoul 3 moved?
The third ghoul is standing next to the white. It was off in the distance, farthest from you all, but has moved towards where the white is now. Finally, that was Diamondback, not finally, but next, the ghoul, one of the ghouls next to you, Yoshka, is just there at it again, right? He's the one that missed last time when he slashed at you, as it were. He also is hungry for the flesh of Bard. And let's see what he does. A natural 20, making a 22.
That does
A
hit.
critical hit. It does hit, and he does double dice because it's critical hit. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 damage.
Yoshka falls to the ground.
Unconscious?
Unconscious? Yeah, can we? Okay, yeah. Yoshka has just been is on the verge of being devoured by these creatures standing over him. These two ghouls. Let's see. Sorry, that was the ghoul. It is now Talad's turn. Talad, what say you?
Talad is going to help. How far away is Yoshka?
He's about 50, 60 feet. You could run your full distance and be within striking range of a 30-foot spell. You could get to, if you were to run straight towards Yoshka, you'd get to about where Tekla and Lambrel are, but you could help Yoshka.
All right, I will try and do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I will run over towards, not directly towards Yoshka, but kind of like bending behind the ghoul trying to eat the two people.
That ghoul is dead.
Yeah.
Oh, he's dead. Never mind
Yeah,
that.
they just killed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna run over, grab another acid splash, and hurl it.
Do it.
Hopefully, yeah. So
Roll that acid splash footage.
And they are next to each other.
yeah,
So
You can pick both of them.
You
good
can.
odds.
I will.
Tell me what you got.
No, DC 13
Oh,
again.
But,
Yes.
but they roll save. Right. And it's a what kind of save?
It is a dexterity save.
Dex save. Right.
Dodging that acid bubble.
One of them fails,
The other.
and the other fails. They both fail.
Victory is mine. So
Damage.
And how much damage do they do? Do they take?
Let me check. I have it here. No memento. Dang. Acid splash. They are going to take a nice 1d6 damage.
You want me to roll it or you?
I'll roll it. Roll it.
Good.
That's 4 and 2.
All right. Yoshka, you are not conscious, but probably in your subconscious, you can tell Talad's really trying to help. All right. Talad just went. It is now Neno's turn.
You have 0 hit points.
From where you are, Neno, you can make it about a third of the way, about halfway-ish to Yoshka from here. If you were to run straight at him past the Banshee.
Okay, so can I see them both?
Who both?
Both Belvari and Yoshka?
You can. Belvari is close to you, and Yoshka's far-ish away.
Okay. I want to cast a spell that is verbal.
Okay.
Can I cast it having it hit both of them because they are both within earshot?
When you say cast a spell that's verbal,
Healing word.
do they have to be able to hear you?
I have to be able to see them. I just want to know if can I cast it on 2 people that aren't right next to each other.
I mean,
Verbal and
what you
going
can
on.
do with the spell is what the text of the spell says.
Yeah, let me look what it says.
It says a creature of your choice that you can see within range regains hit points equal to 1d4 plus my spellcasting ability modifier.
Yeah, a creature.
Singular. Okay. Yeah, I think Yoshika's in more danger right now. There's nobody near us. So I shout life, life to Belvari.
No, to Yoshika.
Yep, to Yoshika. You're right. That is what I meant to do. And 1d4 plus my spellcasting modifier. My spellcasting modifier is a +2. So I roll a 1d4.
Sure. Just because that doesn't sound Ed.
Yeah.
1.
So 3.
Okay.
So you get 3 hit points. That's right. Okay.
Now when that second ghoul bends down to bite you, you won't immediately die.
No. Are you? Was that your turn? Are you done?
Can I do anything else?
You can move. You could run somewhere. You could shout something.
I'm gonna move in the direction of the unicorn who is currently impaling the
Banshee.
Yeah, I'll move in the direction, but trying to be on the non-horn side.
Yeah. And how much? How far do you want to be from the banshee? Say.
I want to be. I'd like to be touching distance to the unicorn, so right up there, but with the unicorn in between the banshee.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if its ears are down, don't
That's right.
Okay.
come from the side.
I will. Thank you.
It is.
Okay.
That's right. It is the unicorn's turn. Let me see here. Okay, this unicorn is. Sorry, 1 second here. I have to read this spell text. Give me just a sec. We'll have some elevator music for the. Okay. Whoa.
That elevator is
Very fast and falling. Let's see.
1 floor from hell.
Okay. The unicorn is going to. It is with this banshee. And it's going to do it again. It's going to pull its horn back out and just attempt to skewer this banshee again. It rolls with its horn. Man, it has what? +7 to hit. And it hits, doing 9 damage. So that it just is on this banshee, like unicorn on a banshee, and it just does this serious damage. But something strange happens. This unicorn has an ability that unicorns, I guess, have an ability. Just to tell you all, it says, where is it? Here we go. It has an ability, if it does a melee attack on something, on an undead creature, and hits it, which it did this. It is able to cast Dispel Good and Evil. It has to make a charisma saving throw, which... Pretend I'm saying this all really fluidly, and the action is just moving straight through.
I hear it.
DC 14, charisma should be really low. It's not though, but it only rolled a 9. It failed. The banshee rolls a 9, including its +3 charisma, which is really intense. So here's what happens. So
Would have high charisma. They have strong ability to influence people's emotions, but go on.
I guess that might count as charisma. I'm willing for that, D&D style. So make a melee attack against a celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead. On a hit, which we did, you attempt to drive the creature back to its home plane. The creature must succeed on a charisma saving throw. It did not. Or, which actually does happen to the Banshee, be sent to its home plane if it isn't already there. If they are there at their home plane, if they aren't on their home plane, undead are sent to the Shadowfell. So this Banshee is skewered by the unicorn's horn as it pulls it out and just plunges it back in. But this time, that bright light shines extraordinarily brightly for just a flash in the forest. Everything's brightly lit really far, and it returns to normal. And the Banshee is no longer with you. A puff of black magic mist dissipating rapidly. Yeah.
Yes. Go unicorn.
That's right. That Banshee with a...
I was really scared of that Banshee.
That was a hardcore Banshee. It was about to do some stuff. It is the Banshee's turn. On its turn, It is dispelled to the Shadowfell.
Okay. What does it do in the Shadowfell? We just don't know.
Mostly moon and rock.
That's right. Probably whales.
No, I feel like a Banshee wouldn't be able to wail.
Banshee's
It has a
whale.
mouth, but it cannot scream.
I don't think so. I'm willing.
That's like its punishment.
They were like terrible, terrible women in life.
No. I'm saying in the shadow.
Oh, in the Shadowfell, it can't.
Yeah.
That's right. I see. I thought you meant by their
Yeah,
natures.
no.
The ghoul, this is a ghoul that is now, has run over to the white. It sees the unicorn doing this, runs over to the unicorn, is going to attempt to eat it as it wanted to do before. It rolls a 2, which does not hit. It runs at the unicorn, lunges for it, and falls. Not all the way to the ground, but just completely misses. Yoshka, you are unconscious, but have been revived at Neno's mellifluous tones. With 3 hit points.
Okay, so I
What do
get
you
up,
do?
and who's right around me?
2 ghoulish ghouls.
That are sort of hurt at least.
They are. They've got damage beyond their normal sort of rot.
Okay. The first thing I do is this stamp. This is my less hair-centric mantle of inspiration.
It's like clogging.
I stamp one foot into the ground, and for anybody who notices, it seems like the solidity of the earth kind of comes up through me. And I seem like more real than reality.
Still.
And I run away.
And on our map, just to give me a sense, which direction do you run? North.
Okay, so I'm over here.
They're right there next to you.
I will run. They're like here.
Mhm.
I will run probably on the backside of these trees towards Lambro.
And does this thing give you special ability not to provoke opportunity attacks?
Yeah, so
That's a big deal in
Yeah,
this case.
yeah. For me and Belvari and the unicorn and let's see, do 5.
So you're going to run
5 creatures.
you and 5 or 5 total?
Well, so me and 5 creatures.
Okay. The
No,
damage to
5 creatures total. So I'm one of those.
Okay.
Within 60 feet, we get 5 temporary hit points, and we can immediately move our full movement.
Okay.
If we want to.
Okay. So you're going to go eastward towards Lambro and Teco.
Yeah.
And who else are you granting this ability to? Well, is hurt. Belvari is hurt. The unicorn.
Yeah. I'll prioritize her people. So
Okay. And then there's one more.
them, and then who's in the thick of danger?
Neno is right here, but there's no more Banshee. Sorry, Neno is next to the Banshee and Unicorn, but the Banshee is no more. There's a ghoul and a white that are not quite near anybody. The 2 ghouls that you're running from, and there's a ghoul that was near Belvari that's dead, and a ghoul that was near Lambro and Texas dead. So y'all are winning this, although there was a very close call in your life.
That
No,
first ghoul you mentioned is by the unicorn, I think. It's not by the white.
Have you heard it all?
It ran over.
Oh, we ran over to the unicorn. That's right.
I'll probably do Neno.
Okay.
That way you can like get back behind everybody if you want.
So that sounds good. Lambrel, who's with Teko and hurt, sees the two who are next to you and knows that they're close. He's hurt really badly, and he runs over behind Talat and Inkatink. Just to tell you, the unicorn who is also deeply wounded and has just vanquished this banshee to some unspeakable place, also runs, and it's able, because it's no longer immediately near anything except for there is a ghoul that's right near, but it's going to run away without provoking an opportunity attack, and it's going to come. It's not hiding, but it is coming behind where Talad and Toll are. Inkatink, Neno, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna. So Neno feels like priority number one is keep that unicorn alive. So she's gonna follow the unicorn.
Okay, and that puts you near Talad and Toll.
Mhm.
And Dwight, you also have the ability, if you want, to run your full run speed.
What's coming up in the turn order?
So this is Yoshka just went. Next, it's going to be Teko, Belvari, and Toll.
I will. Let me see. Just a second.
And I'll try to get some cover from that archer.
Roll 1d4.
If I run between the white and ghoul,
3/4.
if I run between the white and ghoul, can I get within, I guess, 7.5 feet of each?
So you want to run between the white and the ghoul that just tried to attack the
Unicorn.
unicorn. Yeah, that's fine.
So like a 15-foot cube would include
Yeah,
me.
you can
and
do
those
that.
two. Yeah, that's where I will move to.
Okay, so you're putting yourself in a dangerous spot.
Yeah.
All right. Belvari moves to be halfway between the white and the ghoul that tried to attack the unicorn.
What is that kid doing?
Nobody knows. Let's see.
Just wait, you'll see.
That's right.
You believe in me one day.
Do it, Duffy Moon. The ghoul that was ground to a paste by Lambrel is no longer around. Belvari, it is your turn. You just ran.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Before your turn, actually, Teko runs with Lambrel to tend to him behind kind of Talad and Inkatink and in the area of the unicorn. Basically, the wounded have gathered in that region.
Nice. Belvari will upcast Thunder Wave at second level, which sends a wave of thunderous force.
Mhm.
Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution 13 saving throw.
The white and the ghoul
Yeah.
in this case.
Josh, what does that sound like?
Boom shakalaka.
Just like that.
Right. Is it the shoes? Let's see.
I can get that clean. Is it the shoes? No, yours was better.
If they save, they take half damage.
And if they don't
And
save,
aren't
they take.
pushed. They pull damage and are pushed 10 feet away.
So the ghoul rolled a 2.
That is a fail. I will
And-
roll its damage.
The white rolled a 20.
That is a succeed. So the ghoul takes 8 damage and is pushed 10 feet away from me. Oh, I guess right into the party.
Yep. Right to Inkatink.
Serving them up.
That's right. But he takes how much?
8 damage.
Okay.
And the white takes half of 13 and is not pushed away.
Clothesline him in.
Near its demise, its utter end. The ghoul, the rest of you, the wounded who have all gathered in one spot, right behind Inkatink and Talad. Actually, Talad has run a little bit away. The right behind Inkatink, Dwight tosses you a ghoul.
Sorry. Wasn't thinking when I did that.
but it too is hurt quite badly. Quite badly. It is now, let's go right up to the top. This white is just enraged and outraged and is ready, basically. Longbow. And no, actually, you know what? It runs up and it does a longsword attack. Nope, sorry. It's got its longbow out. It moves out of range. It moves it to a nice distance and does a longbow attack on Belvari. Belvari does a, let me see, critical miss with a 5, 1 and +4. So a critical miss does not hit you. And how bad is that critical miss? 7. Okay. I'm going to roll.
Explodes in his hands.
What?
And it splinters into its mind.
I'm going to roll 1d8 to see how much damage it does. Because it's in a straight line. Remember, you cast them out to its ghoul friend on that critical miss.
Oh, nice.
It does 3 damage to the ghoul that was in line.
Yes.
Critical miss.
Not quite as cool as mind splinters, but I
They're
will get it.
shooting each other.
The white also, let's see, has another longbow attack. It will attack again, Dwight, and actually, no, Toll's far away. Okay, a 3.
That
All right,
does not
it
hit.
does not hit. Okay, it just shoots another one out, and wah, wah. The ghoul that was over near Yoshka runs towards Talid, and is going to make a bite at Talid. Does a all bad rolls now. Does an 8 hit you, Talid?
No.
Okay. It clomps at you to bite and does not manage one. Inkatink, you may go now. There is a ghoul standing so close to you that you can detect its halitosis. What do you do?
Ghoul halitosis.
Well, I was really hoping to deal with that white and finish it off, but if there's a ghoul this close to me, then I suppose it behooves me to do toll. Well, that's going to do necromantic damage, and I think I'm smarter than that.
Well, if you would like hooves, do it.
No. Yeah, he's just going to do flame hands, whatever the produce flames
Fireball?
from his hands. No, gosh, there's so many fire.
There is a
Burning
spell-
hands.
Yeah.
Burning hands.
Burning hands.
Yes.
He's going to cast burning hands. So this guy's got to make a dexterity saving throw, DC 13.
He rolls an 8.
Okay, so that sounds like he's going to take all 7 points of fire damage.
This ghoul is in horrible shape, even worse shape than you might imagine. It is on fire, screeching and howling among the wounded.
Gross.
It's true. That is gross. Inkatink, great work. It is now...
It's like rotting and being cooked.
yeah. It smells like burned hair.
I bet you it smells a little bit better though, like on fire.
Maybe.
than-
Yeah.
Maybe.
Inkatink, you went. It is Lambrel's turn. Lambrel just recuperates for this turn. Diamondback, you are around. The white is still within shootable distance of you and still fairy fired and in very bad shape.
I'm going to go ahead and step out from behind my tree and give it another Eldritch Blast.
Do it.
Just trying to sharpshoot it from a distance. I'm not going to move any further back, but yeah, that's going to hit. 18 plus 5 is 23.
It does hit.
So here comes 8 tasty force damage into its face.
You take this swirl of magic through these components and they shoot out with these black tendrils as we've described, which move and writhe through the forest and enter into this white, and with its blasting force, blast it outward. The white, in its all of its semi-corporeal parts, are just blown in every direction, and it is no more. Great job, Diamondback. That is now dead. Everybody.
At this point, Diamondback is going to walk back. There's still a ghoul, right?
There are still 3 ghouls.
Yeah, so Diamondback is going to walk. Actually, how far is the closest ghoul to Diamondback right now?
About 15 feet. No, sorry. I'm sorry. You're closer. You're about 50 feet from the nearest ghoul.
Okay, so I want to go like 10 feet closer, get myself at 40 feet.
Okay, sounds good.
And again, I would like to try and get behind a tree if I can.
Do it. Roll 1d4 in this case.
That's a 3.
Yeah, you got 3/4 cover. It is the ghoul, the other ghoul that wants to chomp on Yoshka, but can't find him. But he can find Talit. He's going to roll his bite attack as well. 9. Does a 9 hit you?
No.
It does not. Man, these guys that were chomping on Yoshka just aren't chomping on you. Talit, these ghouls run up to you, 2 of them right on you, and it's your turn. What do you do?
Well, Tala's going to be very thankful that Sean up, and he is going to, again, pardon my accent, Talad is going to, how close are the ghouls together? Like
Really, like a couple of feet.
Okay, great. Well, he has.
They both run
more...
from the same place to you.
Great. Talad is going to take a step back and acid splash them.
Booyah, Grandma.
So that should hit both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's
They roll a DC
13 dex save.
One of them rolls a 15. The other rolls a 11. So
Great.
one hits, one doesn't.
3, and if it doesn't hit, is it half damage or just no damage?
Acid splash.
Okay, so 3 damage to the one that failed the whole thing.
All right. You did 1d6 for that?
Yes, 1d6.
And that was this guy, which is, I'm just going to give it to an arbitrary when they're very close in hit points. All right. Good job. It's a lot less tense now, I think, because y'all have taken out the big guns there. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I think it's a lot less tense. Neno, your turn.
As soon as I stood up, I was right.
Can she touch any wounded people? She
You
can
can-
touch the
unicorn?
You
the
can touch
unicorn.
any of the wounded people. They had all clustered.
But don't worry, it's fine. You don't need to heal. Don't worry.
Good to know.
Okay.
Whatever he feels like. Gosh.
Yeah, she's going to heal and word the unicorn.
Okay. Do it.
Life.
Do you have components for cure wounds?
I do.
That
that
heals
better?
more.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
You
lot.
just have
Okay,
to deal
let's
with
do that.
touch.
Yes, because I don't have to talk. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, creature touch regains a number of hit points equal to 1d8 plus your spell casting ability modifier. My modifier is +2. What did I say? 1d8? It's rolling very slowly. If I did it right the second time. There we go.
It's all right.
Okay,
Hey,
so
Jacob.
roll 1 plus modifier. Okay, it's a +3.
+3. Great. Yeah, could you pass me that? I need. So you do that, and one of the things unicorn can do is at the end of it, another creature's turn, it has its own ability to do some things inspired by your generosity and healing it. Its attention is drawn to its own wounds, and it uses its ability and gives itself your 3 plus 8 more hit points.
And
bad.
it makes you think that you gave it all.
That's right.
Good for you. That feels like hot stuff right now.
Is there a move in Tai Chi? Let's see. Let's see. I'm not going to lie, there is a move. It is, that was Neno. It is now the unicorn's turn itself. That wasn't the unicorn's turn. That was something it can do at the end of other turns. This unicorn, seeing the danger and recognizing what it takes for goodwill among you all, it casts entangle in such a way as to attempt to entangle the creatures near Talad, the 2 creatures in front of Talad. He has taken a step back, giving the unicorn room to do so. A creature in the area when you cast must a strength saving throw or be restrained.
And
So
Talad and those 2 ghouls are kind of where Lambrel and Tekos started.
yeah, a little west of them. I mean,
Gotcha.
One of them has a 15, is not restrained, and the other is restrained. So yeah, of these 2 ghouls, one is restrained, the other is in difficult terrain. Talad, you are not.
Okay, that's good to know.
The Banshee, you can't tell, but makes all kinds of frustrated noises from the Shadowfell.
Yeah.
The ghoul,
I sort of feel it.
I bet you do. The ghoul amidst you all, among the wounded there, still angry, claws out at this unicorn. Ghouls hate the living. That's their shtick. Right. It rolls. It hits the unicorn. It does 2d4 plus 2. It does 5 damage to the unicorn, and the unicorn has to do a DC 10 savings throw. And I rolled it on my keyboard. Unicorn succeeds. Okay, so it is not paralyzed. Yoshka, your turn. You are deeply wounded, but in relative safety, although there is a ghoul right near you that has been thrown to you, the wounded, like retributionary meat into your lion's den.
I thought you were going to take care of this thing much quicker than this.
It's in very, very bad shape. It's still on fire.
Okay.
The smell is awful.
That's right. AWF. You gonna slap it?
Taunt.
That's right. You killed something with a taunt before.
Yeah, do it.
Does vicious mockery work on it?
It does.
Come on.
Ghouls are sentient.
So, okay.
They're not bright.
So far, let me just check really quick because all of my talking spells, sleep and hold person and stuff, have said like doesn't work against undead.
Yeah.
Seems like it does.
Viscous mockery.
If the target can hear you, though it may not understand you.
Yeah, it can do it. It doesn't say anything about it.
Okay, I will do that. So I will 60 feet. I will use
It's like 8 feet from you.
yeah. Is it engaged with me?
No.
Okay. I'll use my to back up away from it 30 feet. I will viciously mock it. And then I will, with my bonus
What does that
action,
sound
what would it sound like to viciously mock the undead?
like? Nanny boo-boo that you can't catch.
Maybe I
That
would.
is exactly what I was going to have you say, except a little bit slightly different than the
Maybe I'll say, "Oh, my babies fell on the floor. Come here, little ones."
I don't get it.
I don't get it at all.
living can have babies and children. And
Maybe that's tantalizing.
Oh yeah. It thinks that maybe there's some babies over there.
so what?
And then I am more interested.
Doesn't have the understanding.
That's right.
It still works.
So it has to roll. Yeah, let's just fully. Sorry, I was moving
That
on.
reminds me of a compressor song.
It needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
It is not a wise
Against-
thing in general.
DC, I think 15. Hold on. 15.
And it is a 5.
Okay.
What you got?
So it gets disadvantage on its next attack, and it takes. I probably don't get my modifier for this. Let's see. 1 psychic damage.
1 psychic damage.
Yeah.
All right. It hears you say. It hears you saying this thing about your babies and whatever, but it's not very bright. Its intelligence is 7, and they hate the undead. I mean, they hate the living, and all it really hears you say, as Belvari intuited as well, is "Nanny, nanny, boo, boo, I'm alive." It writhes in agony as it burns on the outside and now within. And the smoldering in its heart and the smoldering of its flesh causes it to fall to the ground,
Oh man!
dead.
Oh wow.
Another finishing blow.
Another finishing vicious
A
mockery.
giant toad and a.
No, yeah, that's right. Oh no, was it a toad or was it the caribou? It was a toad.
It was.
It was the rat or toad, yeah.
Oh, maybe a rat.
I can't remember.
And then there's still other creatures left. Right?
There are 2 more next to Talid, and that's it. Talid. Sorry, no. It is Belvari, then Toll, and there's just these 2 creatures left. Y'all are not in super grave danger. I'm happy for you just to finish them off or do something else. We can leave combat. One is completely entangled in vines. The other is outnumbered like 600 to 1. So,
Can I hit it with an ice knife?
yeah. Whatever you want to it, asynchronously.
So yeah, I'll cast ice knife and
Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt!
Does a 24 hit?
No. Yep, it does.
Okay, so the one that I targeted gets 7 damage, and then ice knife is cool because the knife explodes, and each creature within feet of it must succeed on a dexterity saving throw,
Okay.
or take 2d6 cold damage.
You got a 19 dex saving throw.
That's good enough.
Okay.
And I thought the other one was right next to it.
It is. Oh, they
Both
each
of
have to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
And the other
Josh,
one-
was that a community reference?
So neither would take cold damage.
No, it was a reference to a video of some young men LARPing, and one of them has a fanny pack full of small golf ball sized packets of birdseed. And as quickly as the young man can produce them and flick them with his wrist, he is casting lightning bolt. And as he does it, is saying the phrase lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, whilst wearing jeans, a t-shirt, and a wizard's cape.
Did he raid those packets from like a cousin's wedding?
Oh no, that young man precisely measured and weighed out the birdseed and made them all by hand for
The
this.
Starfall
purpose.
Collective fully supports the LARPing community.
I do.
I
think that's
have
cool.
LARPed, and I will LARP again on a day when I will be happy.
I'm doing it right now. Do y'all want to just finish these off narratively?
Yeah, Diamondback. Oh, no?
You can if you want to.
The DM is telling us we've won. We don't have to fight anymore. Let's just say we finish them off.
You finish them off.
Yes.
I think he probably, if I'm intuiting the mood of the room correctly, you just spend about 5 minutes, and Yoshka just mocks them to death.
Well, there's going to be periodic rocks hitting them from Diamondback's sling from behind a tree.
Fair enough.
Bank.
So,
as soon as the bad guys are dead, right? Yoshka is going to feel a presence at his shoulder by his elbow, and Diamondback is going to press into his palm the components to cast Speak with Animals, and he's going to sort of put his hand on his shoulder and say, It's not for me to talk to a unicorn, buddy.
All right. Yoshika will go talk to that unicorn.
Now, in all fairness, to be completely fair and honest, because I'm a good sport, Mr. DM, Speak with Animals works on beasts, and a unicorn does not technically have the beast category. It's a celestial. So you might rule that this spell would be ineffective. I just thought I would give it a try.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. We handled this differently the first time.
I have a unicorn mark on my back that I just remembered.
But in any case, Diamondback thinks it's worth a try.
Yeah.
Even if unicorns are a fancy kind of animal, and he does give the components to Yoshka, and he does say that.
Yeah, give it a try if you want. The unicorn basically is right now doing things like
I was actually going to go up and heal it. I mean, he's still pretty wounded, right?
Yeah.
I was going to...
Just to say real quickly, you know what? I'll put this in the voice of Teko and Lambrel.
Okay.
Lambrel also very badly wounded. Teko's been tending to him, trying to help. But Teko says, do you guys think it's safer to be here or back at the water's edge? Just down the hill and 100 feet or 50 feet.
In the woods are the undead, and at the water's edge are the water ladies. Is this correct?
The water ladies? Who did? There's water. I don't know what those are. They just appeared as water and then came up, but I have not seen them before.
Well, first
there was a friendly dragon. It seems like that's a good force on our side.
He sent us to this strange horse here. Let's see if we can tend to it. And I'll go and approach it, try to approach it gently, and let's see, based on the nature of the spell, like rub it on my hands and show like I'm looking, try to motion to it like I want to heal its wounds.
Okay. It doesn't seem to do anything. It paws to the ground and it's intelligently looking at you, but you don't understand it exactly.
Okay.
I mean, it seems to know what's happening.
And while I do it, I think I'm actually going to start with something I'm more familiar with. I will cast message to it, and in its mind, just in my own language, I'm not sure how this spell works, but I'm going to say, can you understand me?
Let's see. So this is the range. This is the text of the spell, just to let our listening audience know. You point your finger toward a creature within range and whisper a message. The target and only the target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only you hear.
So I guess it's beyond language then.
It hears you say that, and you hear back, A little whispered kind of whinny.
Okay, let me find how many messages I have. I think probably what I want to do then is I'm just going to try some stuff. Yoshida has not done all these spells before,
Sure.
so I'm just going to cast message again and then say, speak what you would. Hold a minute, and I'll prepare my ears to hear a horse's words. And then I'll also cast comprehend languages.
Okay. Did you say that with message?
Yeah. Well,
Did you
So-
use message to whisper that to it?
yeah.
Okay. And just to give again our audience to listen to know what this is, for the duration of comprehend languages, which is an hour, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You also understand any written language you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. It takes about a minute to read a page of text. It does not decode secret messages in a text or glyph, such as an arcane sigil that isn't part of a written language. You hear a whisper back that sounds like this, in a hoarsish,
Okay.
in a throatiness of a horse-like way, and it says something to the effect of,
And just to clarify, is this the horse speaking out loud for everybody here, or is this part of the
"This
message?
is the message."
Okay.
It comes back to you. It just responds in kind
Okay.
and says, it says, "Let us leave this place." That's all it can say with whatever. But it paws to the ground, and all of you can see it kind of pulling its head to the side as though indicating a direction to go with its horn, which is towards the lake. And it slowly is kind of working its way that way. It is wounded still. Seem to like to be here.
Elvari walks up next to it and cures wounds.
Okay.
Which gives it 9 health.
And as you saw it do before, it has a shimmering kind of magical field around you, and it seems to be communication with you. That it extends to you, and you also shimmer with protection, +2 AC for
Nice.
next turn. But basically, you kind of get the sense that it's appreciating that.
Okay. Should I roll? I had, that was my opening line, was a cure wounds. Should I roll it for it?
Yeah, just tell me some hit points that seem plausible, or you can roll it. Sure.
2 plus. So 7.
Also, Belmari goes over to Lambrel, and is
Good.
Lambrel the hurt one?
Lambrel is the hurt one.
Yeah, and he will give him 10.
So that puts him in totally good health there. The unicorn is walking slowly at first, and if y'all follow it, it continues its way, and it is going towards the lake, but not directly towards where you were from. It may not know directly where y'all were, but it saw you come from the lake direction. What do you want to do?
So as soon as we have any moment of sitting and resting, I'm gonna walk around and cure wounds. Anybody who's got anything remaining.
The place.
Singing a song and patting their hair goes like this.
Wait, sorry, I want to hear it, but just hold on one sec. The place where you were going to cast Tiny Hut is that circular stone right at the top of the thing. If you want to go there and cast it, it takes a minute, though you're thinking longer. That would be it. That would be one time where you could, in relative safety, do that. I will say though, it has 9 creatures. The unicorn is a 10th.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to. I don't want to.
Yeah,
in case that
Tink didn't
influences.
even want to join us in the hut anyway.
That's fine.
Belvari will kind of head over that way, kind of in front of the unicorn,
Mhm.
not like tugging on it or anything, but being like over here, trying to. change
Diamondback
its
will
course.
follow as well.
Okay, yeah, it's very happy to be course corrected to wherever y'all are going.
And Yoshka, on the way, having been shown is it a tattoo, Belvari?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Finish.
like it
Mark?
drew on me with its horn,
It's more like a scar.
a scar.
Ah.
Hey, look at this.
What do you know of these creatures?
I met a. Is this the same unicorn? I don't think it is.
You don't know.
I met a unicorn back when we were all split up, and it rode on me.
You actually remember the incident, or if you don't remember, I can remind you.
Yeah.
They may not know which one you're talking, what split up you might be talking about. Or, I don't know.
It was before we went to that basket city. Remember, we were all lots of different directions. There was what are they called? The dryads were talking to me, and I met a unicorn, and it rode on my back.
Wait, this unicorn is associated with the evil dryads?
And gave me, it gave me my magic focus.
Your focus came from the unicorn?
Or the dryad. I can't remember.
At the bidding of the unicorn, the dryad gave it to you.
Gotcha.
It seems good
Sorry, go ahead.
in a land even darker than our own.
By this time, you arrive at the circular black stone. That stone is, and if you pull up, I gave you all an image, you are welcome to look at. That stone is about 25 feet across, big enough for y'all to, do your stuff on. And you can see it. I'm going to cut this part out, but you can see it in the lower left of the image of this lake. So that stone is there, and water laps up just on the edge, but not like it's not wet on top. It's just right at the edges. And you can do this. Hey, tiny hut. The text of tiny hut says, I just want to, so you can make your informed choice. It is a 10-foot radius dome, so 20-foot diameter. The spell ends if you leave its area. 9 creatures of mediums or smaller can fit inside the dome. It fails if there's more than 9 or a bigger creature. Objects within the dome when you cast, creatures and objects within the spell can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. The atmosphere is comfortable and dry regardless of the weather. Until the spell ends, you can command the interior to become dimly lit or dark. The dome is opaque from the outside of any color you choose, but transparent from the inside.
We have enough to cast 2 of them.
Well, is the unicorn a medium creature?
It is. It's horseish.
Then
Is it large? Sorry. One
Oh,
second.
yeah, unicorn is large.
Yeah,
That's true.
horses are large.
Yeah. All right.
So
Large, celestial, awful good. You heading out? If you can stay for 1 minute, I'll.
a larger creature or more than 9. So even if we made one tiny hut for the horse, just the horse, it seems like it would not work.
Do y'all walk up onto the thing?
yeah.
Yeah, sure. I
Okay,
want
if
to
you-
go back to the place where we were talking with the dragon. We're coming back like, mission accomplished. We saved the unicorn for you, buddy.
Well, the mission was to survive until he comes back, so it's not quite accomplished.
Though, as you arrive,
I will. So
Let's see what happens as we arrive.
okay, great. Whatever you want.
I suppose on the way, Yoshika would be thinking about how to do this, and then use up another one of his messages to the unicorn, and say, We have a magic. Wait, is it limited to 25 words or something?
Yeah, something like that. But just a short thing.
Something basic, like simply tell him our plans. We have a magic to protect us, but it is too small for you. We would stay with you in this dark land and help you do your work.
Does anyone have enlarge reduce?
And
Its duration is 1 minute. So.
Will you stay near us tonight? Something like that.
Sure. And you hear back, whisper, "Thank you for your kindness. I will." As you get onto onto this stone, which is big enough for all of you, including the unicorn, it's bigger than is necessary for the hut, for the spell. The water is rippling and churning near you. You see it starting to ripple and churn, and the dragon's head lifts up with the water kind of pouring off of it, and it sets its head, its massive, massive head on the edge of the stone and says, "Finally."
I quickly look to the unicorn to see if it's fleeing or something, ready to message it and explain.
It just paws its foot at the ground and makes some sounds, something like this. And the copper dragon, the ancient copper dragon, you hear say,
Yes, indeed.
And then it swings its head around and says,
I am glad you have done your deed.
"Give me a sec for the refrigerator."
I have done mine as well. Before I give you your lair, let me give you a word of wisdom.
And he sort of, with his gigantic head, kind of glances, big old eyeballs, turning towards Diamondback. And he laughs a little and says, he goes,
Your spirit of the lake, pay Arasanala no heed. I have known her for 1,000 years or more.
and he seems quite amused by something. You remember that he is a little
Possibly
bit
with gusts of wind
That's
as
right.
he chuckles.
breath. You have you, the player, have images of the never-ending story. You remember him being pretty jovial and finding things funny that you didn't seem to necessarily understand or find why they're funny.
But we sort of find them funny anyway.
Yeah, you're pretty sure they're pretty. He's telling a good joke.
Like how kids will kind of laugh along with their parents, not understand.
That's right. And he kind of shakes the water off of his scales. The last little bits, you kind of hear this clattering, like tick, 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 tick. And from above, the younger copper dragon kind of spirals down and rests near you, makes a bunch of clattering sounds. They kind of go back and forth a little bit. You don't actually, Jared, you can understand that they are saying that the younger is like, did it work? Did it work? And the ancient goes,
Hush, child. Of course.
and then it shakes its head over towards and says in common so that you can understand,
She walks the water tonight.
And over far away, you can see where the dimly glowing white stone is. In that same vicinity, a forming apparition of a white, ghostly creature that has a snakish form and also a womanly-ish form. And he laughs to himself or to you again. He just seems to be finding the whole thing very funny. And you all are also amused. And he says,
It is time.
and he ripples his body. Like you can see the 10 or 15, 20 feet that are above the water. He's kind of convulsing it. And under the water, you see these like ripples. And what you think is happening, because it's hard to see, it's dark. The unicorn is shedding a light here, so that y'all are not needing a torch or anything. It's not like a huge bright light, but it's, it's campfire-ish. And the unicorn is shedding it, and you can see the water rippling. And what you think is happening is that the dragon is undulating its body under the water. And you hear a series of cracks, like they're muted, but the water is like making these sounds that you don't exactly recognize.
Water does not make that sound.
Yeah, it's something maybe in the water. You can hear, like, how they have that muffled sound of something. And but you can see these like shakes. And then you start the wet soil of the hill about maybe 60, 70, 80 feet from you. You can hear mud kind of starting to slosh, and he does these ripples. And finally, you see in the distance, it's close enough that you have dim light over there, and he laughs again and says,
It has begun.
and the mud on this one part of the hill facing kind of northwest, the mud begins like pushing and gushing and water bursting out of it. And you realize, as pieces of stone start spewing out and roots and mud, he's created some kind of hole in the side of the lake, and the water of the lake is beginning to drain. Wow. It's the parts of the hill going up to the lake right behind you. It's all moist because it's a lake. But that part over there, you see the soil being ripped away with the gushing water, and it's coming out with some significant force. As a matter of fact, the forest, it's creating this massive effluvium that's just spreading everywhere. And so all the way around, the forest is just being overwhelmed with this torrent of water. The lake does not seem to be, it's been seconds. It doesn't seem to be significantly draining fast. It might take a while or something like that. But he glances over at the Baisugen, laughs again. He seems to be greatly amused by what's happening, and then says,
This will take some time. Perhaps after you have rested, you will see this lake anew in the light.
Wolvari walks over to the dragon and asks, there's a town to the south of us? I think it's to the south of us.
yeah, that's about right.
Is this going to be a problem for that town? Do you know about that town?
So before I answer that, just to give you a sense of direction, the town is roughly to the south, and this is happening to the northwest, and the town's about a day away.
Oh, okay.
So it took you about a day. But he basically says, "It shall not be harmed." So this dragon, he's there chattering. You hear basically, and you actually can hear the unicorn also talking to the dragon. They apparently can understand each other somehow. But the unicorn basically is letting them know that you were helpful, that you all were helpful, and you saved its life from these ghouls. The dragon is, they don't seem to specifically know each other, but they seem to have some kind of meaningful respect for each other as, I would say, not peers by any means, but something like a kind of kindred of position in the world, as though they are the same kinds of. Here's what it is. You get the impression, Yoshka, only Yoshka can hear this, but you can tell them, they're not chatting. They're just discussing some things. They're both kind of in good humor and laughing and whatever. The younger copper dragon heals the unicorn of various things as they're talking. It seems to be tending to its, father or grandfather or whatever's guest, basically. And you get the impression that they are something like, maybe the closest thing you can think of would be something like townfolk of the same town meeting in the wilderness years after both have left. They recognize their common place in some sense as being out of place here, but similarly out of place. So this water is just gushing. I mean, it's like ripping out of the lake, right? Actually, from the surface, you can't actually see where it's coming out. You can just see the mud. So he's created some kind of hole or something. We will pick up next time with the morning. I'll tell you this. As the unicorn and the dragon are talking, the unicorn asks if he is willing to help, to stay the night because y'all are, it's not safe. The unicorn is not safe in this by itself. Unicorns are not even close to as powerful as a dragon in the sense of combat or anything, because several ghouls are going to take it down. But basically, the dragon turns to you all and says,
Our friend has requested my protection for the night. I will stay, but...
And he laughs at his own apparent joke again and says,
mostly for the show tomorrow.
And so it pulls its body up out of the water, and actually reminiscent of your large serpent staff, Diamond, it coils itself again as y'all, kind of the way you used to do, in its dome over you, and it is willing to be your not so tiny hut. Your,
with fewer rules.
That's right.
As soon as somebody leaves the dragon, it just disappears.
Will this dragon be mad if Diamondback curls up to sleep for the night, literally against its scales?
No, this dragon is in very good humor, and especially with regard to you guys, but it's also just a jovial dragon, and it's been having a good time talking to the unicorn. And for some reason that you don't understand, you have seen it be very amused and laughing while looking at the Baisugen. And once in a while towards Diamondback.
I think it's not gonna. It's gonna start.
From the town.
Hmm?
Vaisujin are the two people from.
And is the spirit ghost lady of the lake.
I think it's not. It's going to start with Diamondback sleeping 6 inches from the dragon scales wall, but by the end of the night, he's gonna be right up against it,
as toddlers do with their parents.
Belvari's feet are just gonna be right in the side of the dragon.
Feeling still there. Yeah. That's right, like a little kid. So we, so why don't we stop there for the night? We will pick up with either the morning or, if y'all want to, tomorrow you can narrate something for the night if you like. You are welcome to keep a watch. However, your watch would consist of being awake inside the little dragon hut or giant dragon hut. And there seems to be they seem to be in generally good spirits within the, after an hour, Yoshka, you realize that you can no longer understand. But the unicorn and the dragon continue to discourse about random things. Good. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for playing. Thank you for listening. And we will see you next time. You can find out more about the Starfall Collective and the stories we're telling at the starfallcollective.com. Good night.